Welcome back, OSLP family.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Dr. Dovec Diaries. Man, that's a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister.
And this is Mel.
And this is Kelly. And we once again have Miss Dr. Dovec. I want to call you Miss Dovec, but I'm like, that's not right.
No,
it's Dr. Dovec.
Dr. Dovec, hearing that shit.
Yeah, call me Dr. D. You can call me Betsy first of all, or you can call me Dr. D. There's a lot of D, so add a diva in there too. I mean, that all works out.
Diva
as well.
Dovec.
I love the diva thing, all the D's. So perfect.
I love it. Okay, well, we are excited to start episode 3,
part 3, guys. This is crazy.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're back for more, we're going to keep this one absolutely fresh. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about some new things. And it's so funny, everyone out there, because before we made it official that we are going, we have just talked for the last half hour before we could actually get going with the interview. And then we were like, wait, we should go live because, let's just dive right into it. Let's talk about the most anticipated event of 2021, the Bariatric Retreat in California.
Right. Heck yes.
Oh my gosh.
We cannot wait. We are so, I got chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, you saying it.
Just being there and seeing everybody's wonderful faces and giving hugs to these people that we've talked to for the last year
and been never seen in person.
Yeah.
But I feel this is sort of like telemedicine when people are like, other surgeons I talk to, I really want to be there and meet the patient in person. And I'm like, listen, just seeing people virtually, I will undoubtedly immediately across the way be like, Kellie and Mel, I will know it's you guys. Now, I am so excited to tell everyone, this is the official announcement. I get to be there too. Yeah. I'm going. I know for all of those you out there who want so desperately to be there, there's going to be a lot of other virtual things. So stay tuned. So that's exciting. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of lives and a lot of fun things. But what I wanted to ask you both is, and maybe you know this already, but how tall do you think I am? Do you think I'm short, less than in the lower 4 foot, 5 foot range? Do you think I'm average? Do you think I'm tall? Or do you think I'm freakishly tall?
I would say tall.
Just like a solid.
How tall do you think I am?
6 foot.
Really?
I
was gonna say 5'8", 5'9".
But I also don't look at your shoes. So there's some pretty high heels going that I don't know about. But I feel like you're a tall lady.
Yes.
Okay, so I am over 6 foot.
Oh, dang.
So everybody who meets me is always very shocked by it. And they always say, first of all, another fun fact, my partner, Gus Bello, he is 6'4". So I do look like I'd be 5'8". I think it's a good guess. Mm-hmm. But people are going to be, I will probably be the tallest woman there. And then I do wear heels. So I'll be those 6'3" blonde chick. That happens to be a surgeon that'll be there. So that'll be me. So everyone is always very, very shocked because woke up like Des, she is, I just saw someone ask her how tall she was. They thought she was very tall and she said she's on the shorter side. So I'm sure we'll be a foot difference. I can see it now. So I can't wait to meet her in person, but here we go.
Yeah, definitely.
Seriously, ditto. Cause we're 5'5", basically. 5'4",
yeah.
Okay.
5'5". Yeah.
So we're going to be quite a bit shorter than you, but
no, it'll be a lot.
We'll wear heels. It'll be fine.
I'm not wearing heels.
Well, the wedges.
You do not dictate what I put on my feet, my friend.
I kind of do because you asked me before every photo shoot.
Yeah.
What you're wearing.
Photo shoots are different than walking around.
Two things that came to my mind here. First of all, let's talk about photo shoots. The photo shoot that you two did, I mean, oh my God, no, seriously. Hand to God, those are some gorgeous pictures.
Thank
they
you.
are too.
Thank you.
It was so fun and casual. So I'm reading this book. It's called Captivate. Okay. And it's very good. It's not something I'd say write it down on your book club list or anything, but it's about just of course getting people's attention and things like that. And it talks a lot about micro expressions that we as humans will look at someone's face, and within something like just milliseconds, like a fraction of a second, have a judgment on them based on the way their face is. And something like 80% of the time people are right in that quick instance. Now, this is the most interesting thing I learned is about Facebook, Instagram profile photos. So if you are doing like a canned smile like this, where you're not really smiling, and you're not smiling with your eyes, people think differently of you than if you're like legit showing signs of joy and happiness. And when I saw your pictures, I thought about the book Captivate. I'm like, these images are doing exactly that. They're framing you as warm and friendly and happy.
Oh,
I mean, if you're not, you're gonna fool me. So I think it's interesting. So the second point I would like to know is how, if there's patients out there when it comes to heels, are they wearing them? I'm wondering, is that something that's like a non-scale victory when they finally can, or do they always, is that something like when you're heavier, that's just hard to do?
That's a good question.
It was definitely hard for me. I would wear heels, and then like within 45 minutes, I would have to either take them off, or I'd be wearing wedges and it would still kill my feet.
Yeah.
So, or I would be like toppling, like my ankles would be giving out as I was walking. Yeah, that happened at my sister's wedding.
Oh, at Claire's?
Yeah, every time I ended up taking them off and walking barefoot the whole time, because my ankles just kept, like, I would walk and then it would go like that.
Oh my God.
And like literally my ankles would like touch the ground. It would snap. So, and I was like, I can't. So I just took them off and I walked barefoot down the aisle, and
call it good. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened.
I know. But see, it's something you don't think of, but I think a lot of people have those stories where that might even have been their breaking point. Like legit, my ankles are rolling and touching the sides of the grounds. Like this is what am I doing? And that, you know, now you're doing workout videos. Speaking of Des, I see you guys all the time. It like nothing. I don't see any ankles rolling there. So you're looking too.
You see your chest. Just hurting, killing myself with my chest,
like,
you know,
popping her chest on alive. But I was actually want to go back to that NSV with the heel thing, because like I realized when you guys were talking, like I wouldn't wear them because I just felt like so just huge on top of little tiny shoes,
like stilts.
Yeah, like I felt, because I didn't feel comfortable in my skin, let alone being, because I was like, you know, I would be touching you right now. Just
you would probably be
generally touching you right now if I didn't have surgery. So like me being on heels was never comfortable, because I always felt like I was gonna fall over. And like so that's why I like flats and I like just regular shoes.
I'm gonna get her out of it.
But I like boots. That's the newest thing for me. That's my NSV. I like boots because I feel very secure when they're on my body. I don't feel like I'm gonna fall or move around.
There were heels on the boots you wore in the first photo shoot.
Yeah.
And you liked them.
I just don't. Yeah. Like it took forever for me to even do it. I would have never done it if it wasn't for the surgery.
Yeah, there's no way.
And then being in heels as a woman, like you actually feel like, I don't know, something happens. You're just like,
something happens.
Yeah, you go from like a girl to like a woman. Like it's interesting what heels kind of make you feel like. You're just like, oh, like I'm a woman and I can take you down and like you're gonna like it and it's gonna be fun.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, like some power comes in with those heels. It's kind of crazy.
I feel like you like find your femininity when you wear heels. Like it just makes you feel sexy and like powerful.
Absolutely. Yeah, you realize you're a woman. You're like, oh, I'm a.
Because you wear heels a lot, right?
Yeah.
I
do.
Okay.
And that's another thing. I think it's also that you've gained confidence, and there's like, back to this book, it's about like this confident stance when you come in. And actually, they studied like thousands of TED Talks, and people who demand the most attention or captivate the most are people who use their hands a lot.
Yeah.
So if you use your hands, because it's actually something from when you're in survival, that the hands could have held a weapon or something like that. So when you're talking and showing that my hands are, this triggers like actual hormones in our brain to feel better and safer and like you and feel like you are someone that they can trust. So anyway, maybe this book is good. It's very interesting, some of the things in there.
I think I kind of want to add that to our list of books.
Yeah,
Oh my
'cause we
God,
did-
we can read it together as we need to have more book clubs. I read a lot, but nothing like you guys do. Well, actually just
Well,
Yeah, hold on. What I was gonna say was that we did start reading the art.
she started reading it. I haven't started it yet.
Yeah, the art of, what is it called?
Not giving a fuck.
The subtle art of not
Yes.
giving a fuck. I
Yeah.
love it. I used to hate reading like so much that where like I just felt like it was painful to read.
Mhm.
But I would only read for school. So it was really weird. Like I can read textbooks like no other. You give me like an instruction pamphlet, I'm good to go. But if it's like your regular quintessential book, I'm like, don't get away from me. Like I don't want to read it at all.
Yep.
But now I read this. I read Eliza's. It's a comedian. I cannot pronounce her last name. She's my first book I read for pleasure. And I realized, oh, this is easy to read. I kept thinking like this was going to be harder than textbook reading.
Yeah.
And it's so not. Yeah. And so now, like with the subtle art of not giving a fuck, like I'm actually on like chapter like 7 already, or 6. Yeah. And there's only 9 chapters. I'm like, oh, okay, this is not a big deal.
Wow. And I feel like the book started off a little slow, and then I just felt like it was just getting better and better and better and better. Like I have so many notes on it. I love that book. Yeah, I know we talk a lot about books, but I don't know, some of them just make you think of things. And that makes me think of your Instagram post, actually. So which one of you two is behind like the little summary of things? Like we talk about something and then you make it like into a very easy post. Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Always.
I'm the writer. Yeah, I'm the writer.
Yep. I'm in charge of
Oh.
all pictures. I make sure it's all like the content is there. And then Mel does all the writing.
I write every night.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Really
oh my
good.
gosh, it's so good. Like I can just totally respect all the attention to detail. So if you're listening to the podcast, follow our Sleeved Life podcast on Instagram. It's worth it. And like I was just saying, you guys, your followers, we were like neck and neck. I think I was ahead of you last call, and now you guys are ahead of me by 500. So
Yeah,
I mean,
we just hit 9,200 this morning.
So crazy.
Like,
oh,
and we're thankful for all of you because you make us so happy.
every single one of you. Like I seriously, I never thought that it would get, like, I hoped, you always hope, but I never
Sure.
thought like within a year we would be at this
We
point.
never thought people would like us, like what's going on. Like we never thought we'd actually have an effect on people. We just thought,
yeah, not like this.
we just wanted to help as many people as possible, but we just weren't sure like how this was going to play out. But
yeah.
we've put in our all in it, and
Yeah.
people are liking
well,
it.
this is kind of a cheesy, stereotypical question, but where do you guys see yourselves taking your voice, let's say a year from now? Because if I had to predict a year from now, you'll be at 25,000. Because once you start to gain momentum, people are like, oh, once you hit the 10,000, I feel like people like trust that you're legit, like, wow, 10,000 other people like them.
Oh,
So
true.
then it's going to keep growing and growing. You're going to become more known, more podcast listeners, more things like that. So what would your like ideal like goals be with this?
I mean, for me, I just want to continue doing what we're doing. Like, I want to be able to turn this into, for both of us, a full-time job, because we love doing it. I mean, we're together pretty much 24/7 and talking with patients and followers, and then we're creating content, or we're recording episodes, or we're talking, doing interviews, and it's just the most fun thing I've ever done in my life. And I feel it down in my soul that this is what we were meant to do.
Yeah.
Like with our life, this is what we were meant to do.
Yeah. I would say in a year, like my ultimate goal is to be able to just tour, do live shows.
That's a big one.
We want to meet as many people as possible. I want to meet surgeons. I want to talk to plastic surgeons. I want to talk to therapists in person, maybe even in their environment. So that way people can see what it looks like, so they're not so scared going in. And just doing that all the time, just making sure like everybody can go to every avenue. So just as slowly as I can, just open it up more and more. So I think, just traveling and talking to people. And
can you tell that she does the writing?
Oh yeah, I mean, yes, I'm so drawn in now. Okay, so I want to.
love
We
you.
talked
I
a little
love
bit. We talked a little bit offline about this, and I think I said something too. I didn't quite understand that. So I'm not going to talk about the specific details yet, but everybody knows that I have announced that I am moving to Central Florida, and
Yeah.
we are doing a really exciting program that's going to impact the nation. And we are designing like so much fun stuff, like behind the scenes and the late nights and the glasses and the creating and writing and imagining, like, how do we really just like impact people on a grander scale, and how do we create really a white glove experience with travel agents and concierge, and really just become a destination site that's synonymous with unbelievable care. And most importantly, that the patient experience will be just as important as the patient's outcomes. So for sure, I didn't realize this, for sure, we are inviting you into the OR in Florida as soon as possible. So as soon as I get some patients out there, I want you guys to come, and I want you guys to like document everything, what it's like, the look at the facility, what it's like when we pull you back there with your hat and your mask and you get to see that OR door open. Like, how does it feel? Does it bring back memories of when you were wheeled in, and that feeling of having the mask go in your face and going to sleep and waking up somewhere different that you did it? Like, I want you guys from the patient experience. And the hospital I'm going to is all into showing the world what this is like. So yes, absolutely. I thought that you guys, I was telling you the virtual thing because I thought just because you guys are in Oregon, I figured you wouldn't want to come all the way down to Florida, but you're willing to travel.
I've never been to the East Coast.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
I have no idea. I've only stayed on the West Coast and then went to Vegas. So I don't know anything past.
Oh yeah. We're going to have to. Yeah.
So that's why it's like, it's a big deal to travel for me, because I feel like I've been like, I'm trapped is not the right word for this.
No, but
I know that there's more out there and I want to see it. And I feel like I've had to work really hard to try to like, just get to hear of like, oh, I can maybe travel like every other year. Like that's where I've kind of made enough money in my own personal life to be able to do that. And I would like to do it every year.
Or several times a year, because I love to travel. Like I freaking love it.
Well, and people are interesting. I love fucking people. And I just think it's pretty cool, like how different you can be just in like literally 1,000 miles away. Like there's different types of people, like just all over the place. And I just want to know everyone, I guess.
Do you guys know where I grew up?
You told us.
Wasn't it North Carolina?
No. West Virginia.
West Virginia.
I was like, I know you told us.
Okay. I couldn't remember if I told you. So yes, I feel the same way. Like I grew up in this very little town, and then you just feel like, no, I can't leave that. And even like taking this move to Florida, it's like, well, I can't move there because I stay within my geography. Like I stay in this like little bubble of like Pittsburgh to Maryland. Maryland's like as far as I go. And I'm sure you guys feel the same way, but it's gosh, this is going to be so exciting. So exciting.
It is.
We can't wait.
Yeah.
Like coming in and being like
in the room.
Yeah. Like being there, like that's going to be.
Well, that's just going to be like a bucket list, like dream thing. That's
my gosh. Well, we're going to go through all the anatomy for everyone. We're going to, we'll do many cases that day. So that some you can do, stories, and some you can do a whole thing, and some you can whatever you want. I mean, there's going to be lots of cool stuff, and it'd be cool to tell like the patient's story and all that kind of thing. That I'm sure that the patients will be. I mean, we'll get consent, and if they're into it, and it could be great. So,
well, what I like about, sorry.
Oh no, there's so much potential.
There is. Because what I like about what you're doing is, you're literally making it fun to have surgery. You're making it not scary. And I think that people need that because they're so scared to have the surgery. And it's like, hey, don't be scared. Like there's a place for you. You can go here. You're like, is insurance going to be able to take it? Like, is this only private? Like, I don't know how is that going to be a thing? I should ask that first.
Oh, for insurance? So we can talk about it. So insurance, it is there's different employers have different benefit rules. There's commercial plans that are like your Blue Cross Blue Shields, your Cigna, your Aetna, your United. There's Medicaid, there's Medicare, that's CMS. And there's many different rules depending on region and policymakers and this sort of thing. But that's one of my passions too. We've talked about this, that, you just have to keep asking and showing the results and telling the stories about why a patient deserves access to care and why it should be covered with little to no out-of-pocket expense for the patient.
Correct.
Because ultimately it's a huge cost savings for the insurer. I could go on and on about that. It's always frustrating when there's ever a denial or a lack of coverage or benefit, and people feel like they have no other choice but to go to somewhere where it's more inexpensive, maybe even out of the country. Listen, there are some amazing programs, and maybe some people like to do that. But sometimes I feel like, unfortunately, people don't have any other options, which is just so strange. We live in the United States of America, and how can that be? And that just shows that sometimes our system is a little bit messed up too. And that's part of what we're just working to fix. And I think that directly or indirectly, by doing these podcasts and posting and sharing and tagging and all these things, we're doing it. We're getting more attention. We're becoming more of an army. We're stronger together and with numbers. So that's what we need to do.
Yeah, because we just need to, like, the stigma part of this plays such a huge role, I think, in the insurance companies also, because they view that it's not a good thing that you're getting it. And it really is a good thing. Like, it's a really good thing because you can take back your entire health just by getting the surgery. Like,
yeah, it's because it's the money. It's because they have to pay out now
instead of over time.
And everybody likes to be like, instant gratification. So I understand it, but also, like, you're right, like, we're in the United States of America, we should be able to get whatever healthcare we want whenever we want to go into a doctor. Like, that's just how it should be, and it's not. And it's interesting because there's a lot of countries that people think that, like, oh, none of them have that. It's like, actually, there's lots of countries that actually have that,
because Canada has that, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, Canada does.
I mean,
yes, but that is not, it's not good in Canada. The healthcare is great when you get it, but if you're a Canadian citizen, you wait in the line, it takes years to be up. At least ours isn't that long.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of Canadians come down, actually.
Oh,
because the wait is so long. So, like, we have, like, there's different, like, for example, there's that the American Society for Metabolic and Bariatric Surgery, the ASMBS, and there's different state chapters. So for example, like Maryland and all this, but like Florida actually has Puerto Rico in our state chapter, and then in Canada is its own state chapter. But it's even though it's not a state, but they're a part of it, and they have their own state, but they don't collectively, the amount of surgeries they do in the entire country of Canada is less than they would do in, like, one typical state in the United States.
Whoa, that's insane.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I did not realize that was so. Oh wow, my mind is blown right now.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why people have to travel. Like,
definitely, or if they've even heard about it, because a lot of times people do it because, like, oh yeah, I saw it. But now I think with social media and things like, I mean, the sky's the limit for people to be able to do their own research. But if it's not normal, you don't have any friends, there's really, like, do you do it? Do you get this surgery kind of a thing? And I do think that whole viewpoint on it is absolutely shifting, and that's what we're doing.
We're breaking that stigma. That's what we want to do. That ultimately, I mean, that's what this whole thing started as.
I mean, that's what it's about, because, like,
it's breaking that stigma.
Even like my Eric's friend was over, like, this last weekend, and just, like, you can tell, like, if I bring up, like, hey, weight loss surgery, he would just get offended. And it's like, but you need it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I can tell, like, you need this help.
You need help,
but you won't take it. Like, you're something's there. It's blocking the whole, like, the walk in, like, trying to get this done, and they're just don't want to face it.
Well, I think number one, it's a stigma. And so people that are not in this community don't realize how loving and how amazing this community is to be a part of it. And then you pile on top the fact that it's a male, and males have a lot, like, I feel, have a harder time saying, I need this surgery versus women
need help. It's hard for men, I think, to ask for help sometimes.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And the statistics show it that 85% of bariatric patients are female. 85%, 15% are male. Now I need your help with something.
Okay.
So what gets people to STT, which means stop their thumb from scrolling? What gets people to stop what they're doing and cock their head and look at it and go down a rabbit hole to the point where they would somehow end up on our sites, on a website, wanting to kind of dive into it deeper? Like, what do you feel like are something that would be an image, a quote, anything that would get people's interest?
Well, I know from our Instagram, what has people stopping is number one, information.
Yeah.
Making it clear and concise, and they can easily see like, okay, what is this? And then also side by sides.
They like to see the progression. They want to know that it's real.
Yep. They want to see what the end result could be.
Yeah.
I think.
So interesting about the information one. And so do you feel like when you're looking at the insights, you get a lot of engagement on those types of posts?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, people actually save that more. They share it more because they like the information, but they want to like send it to themselves or share it so that way they always have it so they can go back to it.
Interesting.
So yeah,
out of all your, what would you say, was it our constipation tips post? Like, what would you say was our, that was a winner.
That was a good one.
That was a really good one. I think everybody just was like overjoyed to talk, like that somebody was talking about it. Like, I think because we had so much response to that, which is so funny. I was totally against that episode, by the way, like the bathroom episode.
Yeah, she didn't want to do it.
I didn't want to do it. Mel made me, and it killed. Like, I was like, I didn't realize that people wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go back into the bathroom. We're going back into the toilet.
Yeah.
Okay,
wherever this happens. I got to ask a couple questions. We're going rogue here. We're forget the script. We're not even following anything we said we were going to talk about.
That's
okay.
True,
now,
yeah.
I have legit gotten calls when I'm on call from people who say to me that they are concerned because their farts smell weird.
Okay. Yeah.
So the question is, I mean, I'm just curious, like I take every single call seriously because I figured if you took the time to find my number and to call, like that's very important. But I've gotten that call like not just once, like just like 3 to 5 times in the 8 years I've been doing it. And I'm just wondering, have you guys noticed that you're like, I need some help, my friends. I trust you guys. I trust your senses. And I need to know, have you ever farted and it concerned you from the smell?
No. Okay. I can't say that but okay. So I have a slight side story for this.
Okay.
So, and I was actually thinking about it. So I was in the store, like the little market the other day, and whatever I ate just made me very gassy, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, but I had to go into the store. So I'm standing there and I'm like trying to get my stuff, get out quick. And then I realized everybody's wearing fucking masks.
Yeah, that doesn't
It
matter.
does not matter.
Right now, it don't matter at all.
So I'm like internally, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I need to get out of here really quick. And then I'm like, oh wait, nobody can smell anything. It's fine.
I know. And if someone can't smell, you should be like, you need to get a better mask. That's not an N95 then, because if you can smell, you failed the fit test where they, when they spray it.
Yep. Just crop dust them so it's not all at once.
I know, you're like dead sprinting, like why are you running through the store? Like, what's happening here?
So I'll answer your question though. I would say there's like been a time or two where I'm just like, that smells really weird. like that kind of burn, and it was kind of spicy. Like, what is going on?
Burning. Okay, burning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, whoa.
But
that's
okay. So let's set the record straight here for people who are legitimately like, people like look me dead in the eye. They are not joking. There's no laughing. There's no laughing allowed. And they will literally like come real close to me and they will be like, I'm like legit. I get this not just like a couple times. I get this once a week. I'm not lying. Where people are like,
Yeah.
Am I going to stink? Like, are my farts going to smell weird? So can you guys set the record straight that you do not like just uncontrollably like reek and like just
No.
gas out the house? Okay.
No,
No,
not at all.
no.
not at
And
all.
I think it has a lot to do with your nutrition.
Definitely.
100%.
So
does,
if
yeah.
if I eat more sugar or more carbs in a week, I am more gassy than if I am focused mainly on protein and vegetables. That's
Okay. And
that's
do
what
you
I
feel
found.
like protein shakes? I get all the time that they think it's tied to the protein shake. Have you noticed that with any brand or any protein shake?
No, for you.
No, it's like I only get like that is if I'm really having like something fatty and greasy, or
Okay.
or a salad. Sometimes like
Oh,
heavy
salads do it,
heavy
yeah.
veggies. Like if I have a
Mhm.
lot of veggies, all of a sudden, then I'll get really gassy. But it's not like I'm scared. Like it doesn't make me nervous. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a normal
I mean,
thing,
my
but
first thought would be like, okay, what did I eat to make me do this?
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, I'm
because
trying to
I'm like
think.
a protein shake's never done that to me.
Okay, so
Has one done it to you?
well, pre-op, when I was on my LRD, my liquid liver shrinking diet, I got
There
it.
is.
Whatever, the liver shrinking diet, the liquid diet,
LSD.
LSD. So I was on 4 protein shakes a day, and it gave me the worst diarrhea.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
was awful. And I was so like literally I had surgery and I was like, please give me constipation, please. Because it was 2 weeks solid. Well, not solid. Just saying.
Like try to counteract it.
Let's not say solid because that didn't happen. It was just like 2 weeks of nonstop diarrhea. It was awful. And I tried everything to stop it.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I've told you guys before, I do not do a liver shrinking diet. We have people do the low carb, but we don't put on just the shakes and just the 2 days of liquids. I think leading up to surgery, I do think a lot of it has to do with, just whether you feel it or is subconscious or is conscious that you're nervous and you're anxious, and there's absolutely a gut brain axis that gives you like the irritable bowel, and all that's all connected. It's all connected. And I just think that you're like, oh my God, I'm about to get my stomach cut out. Like, oh my God, you just run to the bathroom and you're just gonna like just die of gut wrenching anxiety.
I was like, because anxiety and stress actually plays a part, right, in your digestive tract
Huge
and
part.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
legitimate thing. It's well studied. It's definitely well known that it's a big thing. I mean, don't you feel like anxiety, like in your abdomen, like, oh my gosh, I feel so sick. And some people feel like they need to eat during those times, and some people just cannot eat at all during those times. And it's,
Is it
how we deal with
good?
it.
Is it good enough like for your brain to know like, so like I don't like to go in the like public bathrooms? I make myself go when I have to pee, but poop is definitely a problem. But like when I go camping, I swear that my body knows don't poop. Cause like I won't go for 2 days, and then when I get home, it's not like a crazy experience. It's just like I will go to sleep, wake up, and then I will poop a lot.
A lot.
Oh, good. I'm glad it all comes out ultimately.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we would be having a different conversation if it wasn't coming out at all.
Right?
That would
It's
be
weird that
true.
your
There'd be
body-
some.
Yeah, but it's
There'd
like
be
if my
some
body
issues
knows
there.
I'm like stressed out, so it's like maybe it's like stop.
You have anxiety about going poop in the woods.
Yeah,
So your
so-
body's stopping you.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's, yeah, I mean, I kind of get that. And
Okay, that's the thing.
Okay.
yeah, no,
I-
yeah, it's definitely a thing. Even like my 2-year-old right now, we're trying to potty train her, and like we sit her on the toilet all day long. And then when she was by herself, she had a huge blowout. She hasn't pooped in like 3 days, holding out, and then she just went in the corner and blew out. I'm like, oh, anyway, we could go on and on about poop. I know how we got here. I know I brought us here, but I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. I do have a question about the surgery. So like with the liver shrinking diet.
Yes.
So now, have you ever opened someone up and was like, nope, we can't do this, and then like put them back on, like, stitch them back up for any reason? Because a lot of people are scared of that.
So opening a patient up, a big incision, I never do that.
Oh yeah, you're
ever.
laparoscopic. That's right.
So it's only laparoscopic. And even when the going gets really tough, I will do whatever it takes to stay laparoscopic, or I wouldn't do it. So I don't even want to put this into the air because people be like, oh my God, I didn't do this quite right, and they're going to cancel me. I have done myself, I'd say, like I said, like 3,800 surgeries, somewhere in there. My partner, there has been a couple of times between the two of us where we couldn't do it because we couldn't get the liver retractor in.
Okay. That's
The
fair.
liver is so mammoth, so thick and so fatty. It's so rare for it to be so large that it's called hepatomegaly, meaning enlarged liver. It's typically in patients who are overweight, obese, is typically due to something called NASH, which is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, which means a very fancy way of saying fatty liver disease. There's different degrees of severity of it. Mild, moderate, severe. Severe can progress to irreversible liver damage, including cirrhosis, which is a shriveling of the liver where it gets a nodularity. And it's actually, fatty liver disease is the number one reason for liver transplant. I believe it is. It was, I think like a year or two ago, even over alcoholism. So I think a lot of people don't realize the effects that specifically sugar have on storing it as fat in the liver, and our bodies are just not designed to handle that in extreme excess. No.
Okay.
Because everything you just said, my dad had. That's how
I had a fatty liver.
Yeah, not to.
So I'd say 80%
not to that
of
extent.
have some degree of it. Some degree of it.
Yeah, because my dad had the hepatitis and stuff.
Yeah.
The whole like cirrhosis and everything.
Yeah. And it's so everybody probably has some degree of fatty liver, but it's so, and that's why you're doing the surgery. So just to reiterate this, I think we talked about this before, but for everybody out there, fatty liver disease, the only way to treat it is with weight loss. There's no pill or injection or any other way other than losing weight. So if I see fatty liver, you had fatty liver, some degree of it, it's the best treatment. Surgery is the best treatment that exists for it. And where I'm going in Florida will ultimately have, they already do actually, we're going to have a combined force. They have a actual fatty liver department. So it's a whole subspecialty of GI in someone that's a hepatologist, and it's a big deal.
That's fantastic.
I have a question about the liver. So can you explain to people why your liver is so important to your body?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, your liver does so many things. The liver is one of the things that can actually regenerate some and heal as if there's damage that occurs. It's an amazing one. There's some organs that just can't take a hit. Like if you lose blood supply to something, and that just means it's ischemic, it's not working. The liver works so much in metabolism of many drugs, the metabolism and storage of how you break down sugar, how you digest different foods. It makes bile, for example, that helps to break down fats. It has so many functions. I'm probably leaving a million off the list here.
That's okay.
But it's critically necessary. Obviously that organ is needed to survive. Obviously you cannot survive without a liver, and it's huge. Actually, it goes all the way, it's predominantly on the right side. Your gallbladder is, it sits in the liver bed under your right rib cage. It extends across the midline, and then it even goes into the left side of the abdomen. If you're thin, it will, so the liver is in, so the stomach, of course, sits under your left rib cage up here more. So if you're like, oh, it hurts here, because that is where the esophagus goes into the abdomen, it becomes the GE junction becomes the stomach. So this is where the stomach is. And so sometimes the liver, there's different types of liver. Some of them are just really thick. Some of them are just very healthy. It doesn't extend. Some of them are like a stingray, that it goes all the way over and touches the left lateral aspect of the abdominal wall. So there's like different points of consideration that you need to do to like retract and lift the liver so that you can see all the key anatomy points so that you can safely do a procedure. So a lot of it's here, GE junction. If I'm doing a sleeve, I need to separate the spleen from the greater curve of the stomach. They're kind of spooning each other. So I had to separate them to be able to remove 80% of the stomach. We're going to have a very in-depth anatomy lesson when we're live and when we're videoing and showing you. So literally stay tuned for this. We're already teasing it, but it will happen. I'm going to show you the liver. I'm going to show you different types of livers. You can tell, you'll be able to tell instantly yourselves with really no training or not seeing this, if it's fatty, what you think too. I'll ask you, and you'll be able to identify it just by gross inspection of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So when we eat sugar, it's destroying your liver, and it's making it what we call a fatty liver. And why do we call it the fatty liver?
So because the sugar will be ultimately stored as fat in the liver, and then it would just become fatty. So excess. So your body needs some glucose or sugar, even is okay in small quantities, because your body will release insulin to take it away, and it helps with the digestion and metabolism. But if you have excess of it, it's going to be therefore, and there's not enough insulin to kind of like take it away. The more insulin that comes onto the scene and the less responsive it is, it's going to start to store it in the fat cells in the liver. And that's where it's going to go. And then the fat cells all over the rest of our body. So there's different places where your fat can go. It can be more visceral, which is central, which is the dangerous fat we've talked about, which is fatty liver coating the organs. That's the scary stuff. Or it could be more peripheral. So women with bigger thighs, bigger buttocks, that sort of thing, they're typically very easy surgeries. If they have a tiny little waist and they're like a pear, I love my pears because technically they're very easy. They're very easy operations. A lot of women, I told you guys this before, but I mean, it's always on my mind. I look at people all over the place. I'm like, you be easy. Oh my gosh. You be easy, hard. Like you can just tell I can tell by looking at somebody what they look like inside. I can just guarantee it.
Well, I feel like that shows how good of a surgeon you are.
Oh yeah.
And like how invested you are in your occupation and this community, is that you think about those things when you're not in the OR.
Yeah. That's how dedicated you are. That's awesome.
I mean, I'm kind of obsessed. Like I'm always obsessed. You guys are obsessed too. It's like this does, because I mean, you would ultimately love it to be you live it. It's your life's passion. It's like you've had the surgery, you're thrilled with the results, you love this community, you want to keep paying it forward, you would love to make a career, a life out of it. And me too. I mean, that's what I think makes us, like become really friends and close. We just understand it and get it. And we want it for everybody else too, so desperately.
I literally just think back to the first message that Dr. Dovec sent me, and it was on my weight loss page. And you were like, I would love to have you a part of the extravaganza. And I'm like, well, I have a podcast and can we both be on it? And you were like, oh my gosh, yes. And it just like snowballed from there. But I just remember that first time, and I'm like, hey, this doctor like has this great event. And like, I knew nothing about you at that point.
Well, it was just funny because I was like, well, if she doesn't want me, it's fine. Like you can like go be a part of this cool event.
And I'm like, no.
And then you were like, no, let's have like, you're just so in it. Like, that's what I love. Like, you're like, no, and the more, the merrier. Like, we need to share these people. Like,
it was fantastic. It just popped in my brain. So I had to say,
if anybody hasn't seen it, I have it on my story or on one of my highlights on my Instagram, Dr. Dovec. Check it out. And yours is on there. It's so fun because your names rhyme. Hi, I'm Kellie and I'm Mel, and we're from our Sleep Life podcast, and we've been friends for like, I don't know, like ever. I can still see you guys doing it now. Like I've watched it so many times. I really have. And I loved it. I remember I don't know. I really just loved it. And I hope this year, because the virtual one worked out so gorgeously, I would love to have a mixture of in-person, virtual fireworks, because and like really generating hype. That was like our first time testing the waters. And I don't know if I ever told you the insights from that event. Do you know how many people viewed it and how many people we reached?
No, I don't know.
I know you wanted 100,000, right?
That was the goal. Yeah,
was the views.
for the views. So the views was 75,000.
That's
Nice.
And
awesome.
it was amazing. And the reach, whatever that means, I think that means they watched it for like 3 seconds. I don't know, but the reach was 171,000.
Holy shit.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I
I
know I
know.
use the term, I'm trying to get away from amazing. I'm trying. That's fantastic. Like,
Yeah, that's impressive. That's
I
a lot
know.
of people, because I think what they need to see is like, oh, you're being celebrated for
mhm,
you know, like taking charge of your life and like signing that paper and being like,
mhm,
I'm caring about myself. And like you guys are like showcasing, like, do it. Do
mhm.
it. Like, look what you can be. Like, oh, that's why I like that.
It was a
We gotta
great
start
event.
brainstorming
Great.
we're gonna start brainstorming for this coming December, because it's just, it has to get bigger. It has to just get more attention. So
Mhm.
it just got to
Yes.
keep snowballing in an amazing direction. So yeah, we got to do this thing.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah, I'm excited. Year 2.
I know it's going to be, I mean, there's the Dr. Dovec Diaries. Hopefully people aren't going to get sick of our little collab here. I mean, this is please. No, that's what I thought.
No.
We have a lot of
Never.
fun stuff. Stick with us, people. Hang with us. Hang with us
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
OR, reveal extravaganzas, a lot more fun things. What other fun things are you guys coming up with next? I love, some of your tasting things, your working out, you're interviewing very interesting people. You guys have some awesome ideas. What is next from you guys?
Well, we just we are going to have the CEO of Devotion Nutrition on the live
Yes,
review
live review
in
coming
2
up.
weeks.
Mhm.
And so she's going to come on, she's going to show us how to cook with it. And then she's going to also answer any questions about it. Like, Dana is, she reminds me a lot of you. Like,
Yeah.
she can hold a conversation. She's passionate about what she does, and we just click.
She knows all about it. Like, I can
Mhm.
ask her any question and she's like, "Du-du-du-du."
Yep.
And I love that. I
Mhm.
love information. So like the people that are passionate, you can tell like they know what's
Mhm.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dana's
Wow.
coming up.
Dana's coming
So
up.
we're pretty stoked about
And
her.
then,
And then we have Ronak from Avi, guys.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CEO from Avi is going to be on.
Mhm.
So look forward to that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yes.
that's exciting.
Yeah.
And then we also have another vitamin company
Yes, we do.
that is going to be, we're going to interview them. So get their point of view.
Because the point is like giving everybody options.
Yeah.
We don't want you to think you only have to be like buying these 2 things and that's all you have to have. Like, that's boring. And I don't know about you, but like, we love choices.
Mhm.
Like, I like a variety, because when you do get bored, then you go back to the old habits and then you eat and then you feel bad about yourself again. So
Yep.
it's like, if you can just find companies you really like
Mhm.
that would be awesome. If there's like 5 or 10 of them, cool. Then you can like sprinkle stuff in all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with that. I'm constantly on the hunt for like, okay, what's out there? Because there's new stuff happening every single day. And like Mel said, we don't want to just say like, these are the only 2 products we use, because that's not accurate.
Not
You don't
realistic.
only use 2 products.
No.
Like, and we want people, we have different tastes than somebody else. So just because we like it doesn't mean you're going to like it, but we want to give you our point of view on it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
because I mean, lots of people like Quest. I don't like
Kellie's
Quest.
not a fan.
I'm not a fan.
So.
So, but we are going to taste that Thursday.
Yeah, coming up on Thursday. Well, this airs.
So
After
it'll be
it.
in our IGTV by the time this airs.
Go watch it. We're doing,
Yes.
that's the one thing, like, just because Kelly is not a big fan, we're going to still keep trying all their
Mhm.
stuff and see if anything new comes out that we like.
Yep.
Because we're hoping people change their formulas as well. Like, that's the whole point
Wow.
of live, is seeing kind of like, hey, this is what we like. A lot of people are saying they like it. Cool. Then that's a good thing. And if they don't like it, if people are like spitting it out or throwing it back on the table, like, maybe we need to do a quality check. So like,
Yeah.
we will keep taste testing
Mhm.
your stuff
Wow.
to see if like it gets better.
Well, and like if we have 2 different products from the same company, Mel might prefer one over the other,
Yeah.
and I might like the other over, what she chooses. So it's just giving like lots of different taste buds and like
And
that.
options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and options. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it's great. I mean, I'm a huge Quest fan. I'm a huge Creature of Habits. I
Oh,
mean, I even have my faves and I've tried them all. I mean, when I was pregnant, I would eat like definitely 3 every single day, if not 4 Quest bars. Can you believe that?
oh damn. What's your favorite
Yeah, what's your
flavor?
favorite one? You put it on the
Well,
post.
I have a lot of, because I get it from Amazon, a weekly thing. So white chocolate raspberry is probably
Okay.
it. But I also love the lemon ones. I love blueberry. I love the cookie dough's okay. Sometimes it depends on the freshness of it, can be a little bit like crumbly.
Okay.
And
Do you like them cold or
oh, I
room
love
temperature?
berry. There's a lot I love. There's a lot I don't love though too. So I'm very particular. But when I get the one I love, oh my gosh, Aaron's like my husband. He's like, you're eating so many of these. It's such an expensive habit because I also put so much like flavoring packets and this stuff called Motive Pure. Did we talk about that before?
No.
No. What is
The
that?
Motive Pure is this concentrate of electrolytes and it has a flavor to it. And I get this
Okay.
stuff shipped in like gross quantities, and it's called Motive Pure. And it has the electrolytes will make you thirstier too. So you're just like, it makes you drink a lot. Like I drink way more than 64 ounces a day.
Oh.
And anyway, between the Motive Pure, I added additional Propel packet. The Quest bar had it. Between basically, I eat exactly like I'm a bariatric patient. I know I've had the surgery, and I know no other way of life really. And it can be expensive at times. So you have to consider that too. So there's a lot of things in there.
We'll have
That's
to check
funny.
out that
Motive Pure.
Motive
Pure.
Pure.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
All right.
interesting.
We'll try it. Well, I'll look it up and
Okay.
see.
Yeah, definitely look it up. It comes in these, you can get them in like a one shot of it. You just dump the concentrate into fluids, or I get these big, huge things, big shipments.
What flavor do you drink?
Berry. And my husband
Berry.
likes lime. Yes.
Okay.
They have many flavors. They have an assortment pack.
Ooh.
Well, that makes it easier.
Yeah.
We'll do that on a live.
Yeah. Melanie's already decided, that's fine.
Gonna happen.
That's fine.
You're like OD on all the electrolytes.
So I had a question. Oh,
I would say before we do ever sign off, we have 2 questions from our
yeah, I was just
listeners.
about to like,
Oh, were you? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I was gonna venture right into
Because I
that.
want y'all to know, send us the questions. We will ask Dr.
Yes.
Dovec and they will be answered.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
And we are gonna have a Dr. Dovec episode once a month.
yes.
So, and we are saving all of them as you send them.
Yeah.
So
And there's no
judgment.
Yeah, no judgments.
No,
Like,
we were talking about farts for like a solid 30% of this podcast.
seriously.
So, I mean,
yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how that happened, but anyway.
So we got a message from somebody. They were very concerned because they're not feeling restriction. And obviously they're post-op, they're 7 days post-op. And they weren't,
7 days?
7 days.
7 days. And they felt like they're off. Like that she was kind of concerned that nothing happened, like that she never really got surgery.
Yeah.
And so that's my first kind of question. Like, is that normal for some people to feel like that?
My absolute hope and prayer for all of you pre-oppers watching is that you feel so good you question if I did your surgery. That is a quote I tell my patients. Yeah, I mean, it just means that your expectations were that you want to be able to swallow, that you're gonna be foaming at the mouth, that you're gonna be vomiting, like all these fears. And you're like, oh my God, I'm actually doing fine. There must be something wrong because I'm doing fine. I mean, that's 7 days post-op. First of all, you're probably still on full liquids. You're definitely not on much more than, maybe you progressed to a puree type consistency, but you're not. Don't worry, my friend, my dear, dear friend, whoever you are out there, when you get to more solid food stages, you're going to feel the restriction. Absolutely, undeniably. At 7 days, don't even give it a thought. Just say a little prayer of gratitude that you are just fine. Just fine.
Okay.
And as always, a little public service announcement, step away from the scale during all of it. I get messages all the time about like today in the morning I always weighed this and then I gained 3 pounds and then I'm like, oh my God, just stop, just protect your own sanity, please.
Back away from the scale.
Definitely, that's always a theme.
Yes.
What would you recommend with the scale? Like, so we all know we get weighed in before we get surgery. when would you think is a healthy time for you to actually check it? And it could be like pretty accurate.
I think at a month, at 30 days, but it's going to be impossible to stay away from it. It's almost like I want to get pregnant. Am I pregnant? Oh, screw it. Just let me piss on a stick, even though it's only been like, I just had sex an hour ago. Like, whoa. You know, kind of a thing. You know, you've got to, you got to let it wait. But by 30 days, women, you should be down around 13 plus pounds. So it's about, you'll lose on average for women a half a pound a day. And that's, and if you've lost more, good for you. The next month might be a little slower. If you've lost less, the next month will probably be faster, or reevaluate and see your program's dietitian, or talk to the surgeon or the advanced practitioner, nurse practitioner, or PA, whatever. If you're really concerned, but a lot of times it's like, just trust the process. And for the most part, the program, all the programs in the United States do a very, very similar process, maybe a couple of nuances here and there, but it's going to work. I promise you it will work. Okay.
So then the second part of that question, we always, when people come to us with questions, our first response usually is, have you talked to your surgeon?
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to everybody why it is so important to go to your appointments, and to, like, if you have a concern, to talk to your surgeon?
So first of all, when you sign up for bariatric surgery, you are committing to a lifelong follow-up relationship. Ultimately, things can happen. You move, life happens, stressors happens. You feel like, I know what I'm doing. The thing is, the vitamins are essential for life. And so a part of that follow-up is getting your vitamin levels checked and just making sure all of that is fine. And the other thing, of course, you want your weight to stay on track. And if you're, gaining weight, you don't want it to be a slippery slope. You want to kind of get back on track. Let's reassess here, see the dietitian, maybe get on medical weight loss. We talked a lot about that in previous podcasts. Now, if something is going on that is concerning you, to the point where you're reaching out to perhaps a stranger like yourselves out there and saying, something's wrong. Like if I feel like, just trust your guts. Kind of like, if you feel like, okay, I don't feel well, this pain is more than just a normal cramp, or a normal incisional soreness, or I'm vomiting, or there's blood, or there's something abnormal, or just really anything that just makes you feel like this isn't right, then trust your body. You know your bodies. I really do believe it when people say, like, I know my body. I do think that that's true. And call your program. So sometimes it might be like an FAQ, like we have like some triaging guides. Like if they ask this question, we get it a lot because it is a concern, and it's how you answer it. So you might get my front desk, you might get a medical assistant, you might get a nurse, you might get an advanced practitioner, or it might be something like, we're concerned, we're going to tell you to go to the emergency room. We're going to tell you to go get a CAT scan or an imaging study in upper GI done in radiology, maybe see a GI doctor. Like, there could be something that we need to check. So it'll take us 2 seconds. We do 2 surgeries. So we know, I really feel like I know every nuance of them. Like I do. And I think that all bariatric surgeons do. Like we just stare at this anatomy all day. That we can tell you, oh, that's nothing, or we've got to investigate that. So yes, my darlings out there, go call your surgeon back and get the support that you need.
Yeah, because it could be a common question that a lot of people have. So it's like, it could be just routine. Be like, yeah, that's normal. Like, it's fine.
Well, I know from like Mel, she had a lot of questions, but she didn't know, like she wasn't immersed in it like she is now.
No, like it was weird. I just thought things were like, that's just like, we're normal.
How it was.
Yeah. Because I didn't really ask questions as much, like going through the process. Like me and Emma met, we gelled. I liked her. We're doing it this day. All right. She's like, go see all these people in my office. We're going to set you up. Boom, 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 boom. And then you do that twice and someone's going to call you. I'm like, all right, perfect. So like when it was over, if I felt anything, I was like, it's probably just because of the surgery. Like I just kept it like probably part of the process. I'm just going to keep going. So I didn't really ask anything until Kelly was going through it. And I was like, oh, those are normal things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, realizing I had a lot of questions that I could have asked and learned about a long time ago.
But I think it's really good to have an open communication with your office, with your surgeon, feel close enough that if something happens, like, oh, I'm feeling this weird pain. Like, is this normal? Yeah, that's totally normal. Or no, it's not, like you were saying, there are certain things that are normal and some that aren't, but I feel like you should always have that open communication with your office.
Well, this is interesting. And, Mel, I know you're this writer and your posts are just, you're also artistic and very clever. We should get together and we should write a list of the FAQs and the answers. And then that way people can forward them to each other, screenshot it, repost it, tag us. We can do a lot. Like I could rattle off a bunch right now that we've already talked about. Everybody wants to know about hair loss, and loose skin and, weight regain, acid reflux, the gas pains after surgery, the fluid intake goals, protein goals. Like we should, there's 7 right there. Like we can really write something short, sweet, that gets a good message out to everybody so that they know the information, even if they weren't as immersed in it as maybe we would ultimately like, but here you are now.
I like it. I like it. So if you guys want that, let us know. I have a feeling we'll just do it anyways, but we always like to hear what you think. And then, we can have it available on your website and our website and on Instagram and everything. Cause I think it's really good for people to know like the basics, but then if it goes beyond that, or like you said, your body, when something's not right, there's that moment where you're like, I need to go to the hospital.
Well, it's almost like the Smokey Bear situation, like here in Oregon, like there's different colors of when like you should do things and like, so there should be like levels of that in the chart of like the color coding. Be like, okay, so we reached the red, we got a call. Like this is
exactly. My Smokey Bear alert is very finely tuned that I can take a glimpse at you and I'm like, you look sick, you look toxic, you look fine, you don't. And I think yes, I would love to create something like that, the Smokey Bear gauge of get your butt to the ER versus just go to bed, just close your eyes, it'll stop in the morning.
Go sleep.
You guys, what I gotta write is the guide for when food gets stuck. Because I gotta write that. We gotta remember all these. There's a lot of goodies that we can put out there for everyone.
Well, it's recorded now, so we've got a memo.
That's right.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's right. I feel like I'm just casually chatting on the phone. Wait, this is recording. People are watching. Hello out there. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening this long.
Thanks for letting us just go along and
I love it.
I think I think we're almost wrapped up.
I was gonna say, is there any other questions you can think of that?
I think I'm gonna save the other one for next time.
Okay.
Just because it's a longer subject. So
yes,
all right.
We can do a lot about that one. We can advertise that one. We won't even tease it now. And I think that we should actually. It's hard to explain that without telling what it is. So I'm gonna give some foreshadowing. So it's for all you ladies out there. We're gonna do. I think we should do a big pregnancy episode where we talk about, first of all, about infertility potentially related to being obese, including talk specifically about PCOS. Talk a lot about different treatments like IUI and IVF. And even talk about sex. I think we should, and talk about intimacy and whether you want to have a baby or don't want to have a baby and how that plays into it and the timing of it and how do you and how do you hopefully have the best outcomes. Then ultimately, if you do and you will be very fertile after weight loss surgery, we'll talk a lot about pregnancy and what you need to know and the safety numbers and sleeve versus bypass and everything in between. So I think that could be its own episode, which is very exciting for me. Because I put the story out there many times. You guys know this, but I struggled with infertility for years and years. I had surgery and everything, and I had IVF to have all of my children. So I love when I get to be really somebody's like fertility giver, expert, whatever, after surgery. So that's one of my favorite topics. So yeah, stay tuned, my ladies, and even my men out there,
They
in
may want
improves
to know.
male fertility as well. So yes, let's talk the fertility, all things, I don't know, private.
All things
private.
We're gonna go for
Private episode.
the private episode.
We will
Good
definitely be doing a couple stories on our page. We'll tag Dr. Dovec. And so you guys can submit all of your questions for that. And then or you can DM us anything that has to do with pregnancy, any of the things that Dr. Dovec just listed off.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hell of an episode. So
yeah, I'm curious because I've never had kids. I am also infertile. And I have autoimmune diseases, which I made the decision early on not to have my own children because I did not want to pass that along. So I'm interested to hear all of the different stuff because I like to still know, like what's going on. So, and Melanie's been pregnant, but that was pre.
I mean, that was
surgery.
A long ass.
Well, yeah, he's 15 now, so
15 years old. My friend.
Yeah.
Wait, somehow I missed that. I had no idea. Wow, we have a lot to talk about. I feel like I don't even know you guys. What's happening here?
I don't really talk about the infertile part of that. So
we're gonna get very intimate. Okay, this is gonna be a good one because I am very, very, very open with my own story there. Because I know that I will impact at least one person. Every time I say it, I get a lot of messages from people about like, what was it like? And I can tell you everything from the injections to the emotional warfare that it causes to the appointments, the labs, all of it, but then ultimately the babies and the success and the ups and downs and everything in between. So yeah, let's do that episode. That'll be a good one.
I think it's going to be great. I'm excited. So tune back in May. I can't believe it's going to be May already.
I can't. It's going to be May. But let me tell you something about I love that stupid thing. Guys, you know what? You do know what's happening in May, right?
My birthday.
When is your birthday again?
May 22nd.
Okay. So, you're a Gemini. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
That makes so much more sense.
It does. I'm a Taurus on May 18th and I'm turning 40.
Holy
I would never guess. I would never.
In a month, I'm turning 40.
I would never.
What are you going to do for your 40th?
Oh my God. Can you imagine the Instagram post? That's all I can think about is balloons and silly stuff. But I'm actually, I'm going to St. John in June. So we're celebrating it there. I got like this compound. It's going to be a huge blowout, made in 1981. Yeah.
Well, I love that.
That's exciting.
Yes, St. John. Oh, that sounds amazing.
Sounds beautiful.
Well, and we can also have an episode to talk about, I have fillers and I have Botox. And so we can talk about my own personal experience with facial plastics. That's why it looks so good. And just, I know a lot of, that's another thing about like wrinkles and that sort of thing. So a lot of our patients also get fillers, and I can just tell you a little bit, it's not from a professional standpoint, it's just a personal thing. So
okay.
We can talk about all of it. I don't care. I don't care out there. And by the way, if you guys were wondering, that is my hand and that is an 11 blade. And that's my preferred blade choice. That's a very rare one to love. I love an 11 blade. My partners love a 15 blade or a 10 blade, but I like an 11 blade.
I love it. So for those that are listening,
I
what's
love
behind her is a framed photo of her hand with a scalpel.
Yes.
And then you see her nails are all red.
Yes.
It's black and white, but
background.
Yeah.
It's the perfect background for the Bariatric Diaries.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this, go to our YouTube and go watch it.
Yeah.
Right now.
You gotta watch it again.
Yes. And then again.
And again.
Just and again. Watching. And give it some more viewership and then subscribe to it. Yeah, definitely. And I think this was a good episode. Hopefully you guys found it helpful, but you can always DM us, like we said, with questions, comments, feedback. We're here for all of it. We want to give you guys the content that you want to hopefully either help you to make the decision to have weight loss surgery or help you to be more successful with your tool, or help with whatever goals that you have. So we are here for you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well,
Man,
thank you
I'm so
much
excited.
for all
I'm
of the
so
things.
excited. There's so many new things happening. And I'm like, I just want it to like them to be here already.
I
Yeah, she's
know, me too. Me too.
like-
Me too. I know. It's
I
tough,
love
but
you guys.
July, big announcements. You'll know exactly where I'm going, what we're doing. We're going to do a lot of virtual, pretty much. It's going to be an experience. We'll show you the behind the scenes. We're actually, they're investing in a full AV studio with an on-site full-time media producer. So when we do our visits, these aren't going to be some little amateur hour. Okay. This is going to be
Ooh.
the ultimate experience for all in the world to take part in if they so want to be our patients. So it's going to be something
Yay.
you've never seen before.
Oh,
I'm
so
so
I
excited.
cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Well, you guys
Oh.
better stay tuned for all of the new
Yes.
stuff coming.
Yes.
Let's do
it's
it.
gonna rock everybody's world.
All right.
Let's
Well,
do
thanks
it.
for tuning in, guys. And we will see you next
Next
time.
time.
Bye.
Bye.